Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome here to the launch pad and our live launch coverage of SpaceX Starlink 15-8 set to launch from Slick 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. If it's your first time here, though, welcome. My name is Zach, the founder and host here at the Launchpad Network and here at TLP. It's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow because we believe that space is better together. If you haven't yet, take a moment, engage that like button. It's free to do so, really helps us out. And while you do, take a moment, let us know in the chat where you are watching from. As always, if you guys have questions, you can send those to us in the chat by tagging us at the Launchpad, and I'll work on answering those live to the best of my ability through today's broadcast. Today's Falcon 9 booster is booster 1088, going for its 7th flight on a 27-day turnaround after previously supporting NROL 126, Transporter 12, Sphere X, NROL 57, and 2 previous Starlink missions. SpaceX's drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, is stationed downrange in the Pacific Ocean, ready to recover today's booster. As always with the launches from Vandenberg, if you are a resident of Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, or Ventura counties, you may hear one or more sonic booms during today's flight, all depending on your weather and air conditions. Now, Liftoff is targeting a liftoff at 7:20 a.m. Pacific local time, with backup opportunities running till 7:33. But as we are now locked in for today's attempt, if for any reason they aren't able to fly, they do have backup opportunities starting tomorrow at 6:27 a.m. Pacific. On board today are 26 Starlink V2 minis, getting ready to head up to low Earth orbit to continue expanding the low Earth orbit internet satellite constellation. Now, there's lots of people tuning in from all over the world. We're glad to have you here. We got Hermione in the Netherlands, Princess is in Canada. We got Chaz in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Jeanette is in Nashville, Tennessee. Hello. Ginger's in Lakewood. Good to see you. Catching up on your guys' questions and comments in the chat. We got Craig in South Carolina. Welcome. Morgan, I live close by. I won't be able to see it, though. Yeah, it's always the weather conditions and everything that goes into being able to see these flights. As always, we do look at these live weather images coming in from the GOES weather satellites in orbit to monitor those weather conditions. We do have that countdown in the top right corner of your screen, L-6 minutes, 40 seconds and counting. We will, of course, patch SpaceX in the moment that they go live. DJ Yan, my favorite YouTube channel. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Guest says, it's commentary. No thanks. Well, there's a beautiful thing called a mute button, guest, that you can do. But also, once SpaceX goes live, we let them talk, and we try not to talk over them. But SpaceX doesn't do commentary on Starlink launches anymore. So, yeah, you kind of got a few options there for you. Dreelan, you sound tired? No, just woke up and been doing some work, so just a lazy morning. Christy is watching from Texas. Welcome, great to have you. Old Dad is in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Great to have you joining us here. JT, good morning from the armpit of America, New Jersey. Welcome, great to have you joining us this morning. If you are just joining us, welcome. We are counting down now just 5.5 minutes till the launch of SpaceX Starlink 15-8 from Slick 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. If you have questions, you can send those in the chat by tagging me at the Launchpad. We'll work on answering those live. SpaceX is getting spooled up, ready to go. We'll turn their audio on once they stop with the copyrighted music. We can listen in to SpaceX Mission Control. DJ Yam, what is the super fast moving black cloud on the weather loop top left corner? We were looking at that earlier. Just a cloud.
Pressing for Stromback retract.
And as usual, it is a absolutely beautiful day at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. There is a rocket on the pad, and we are 7 minutes, 36 seconds, well, 4 minutes, So let's up 4 minutes 40 seconds away from launch. We will sync our countdown clock with theirs. Just give me a moment to do that as we continue to count down towards today's flight. L minus 4 minutes 20 seconds and counting.
Strongback retract has started.
And that strongback retract, that is the truss structure to the side of the vehicle that will retract away just a few degrees in preparation for flight. Now, unlike the strongback in Florida, the strongback in Vandenberg doesn't retract actually all the way away. It retracts a few degrees and then liftoff occurs. In Florida, it retracts a few degrees, and during the liftoff sequence, it actually retracts all the way to about 45 degrees. Working to sync our countdown clock with SpaceX's. I know they've got theirs in the top corner now. There we go. We are synced up. Fogberg. I feel like we need to release a merch collection of Fogberg clothing. You know, some Team Fogberg, things like that. I promise there's a rocket on the shirt. You know, some things like that. So stay tuned to the Launchpad shop. You never know what's going to show up. The launchpad.store. As always, if you want to stay up to date with the latest on the launch schedule, you can head over to tlpnetwork.com, click on that launch button. That's where you can see the up-to-date launch schedule of all the launches coming up. We have a busy week in spaceflight coming up. Obviously, we've got Starlink 15-8 here this morning to kick off the week. On Tuesday, we have the launch of Axiom 4, the fourth private mission from Axiom Space to the International Space Station, kicking off the Tuesday morning. Less than an hour later, we've got a Starlink launch from just a couple miles south of that. Later in the day, we have a launch of an Electron. On Thursday, we have another Starlink mission. Friday, China's launching an unknown payload. Friday, there's another Starlink mission, as well as the second batch of Project Kuiper satellites launching on an Atlas V. So it's a busy week in spaceflight, and you can catch all but the China launch right here live on as part of the Launchpad network. Monty, bumper stickers. Ooh, we can add bumper stickers. We've got a few, but we are working on some other ones, but I'll make sure we try to prioritize getting some bumper stickers up there. Now, as always, at the T-minus 2 minute mark, let's see that go, no go for launch in the chat. If you're not yet a TLP member, consider hitting that join button. Just 99 cents a month gets you access to those TLP custom launch emotes. Oh, and I think I put in the chat till lunch. I meant to say launch. But, I mean, we can do a go for no go for lunch, too. L minus 90 seconds. Counting to liftoff. Believe it or not, there is a rocket on the on your screen. At the L minus 1 minute mark, that's when Falcon 9 will take over the count and begin to pressurize its tanks to flight levels. L minus 45 seconds, we'll get a final go for launch from the launch director. L minus 60 seconds. Falcon 9 is in startup, taking over control of the countdown, waiting for that final go for launch.
LD is go for launch.
And there's that call out that we were waiting for. LD is go for launch here of SpaceX Falcon 9 SpaceX Starlink 15-8 with Falcon 9 booster 1088 going for its 7th flight. L minus 25 seconds and counting. If you haven't yet, take a moment, engage that like button, and let's listen in to the live sights and sounds of Space Launch Complex 4E, Vandenberg Space Force Base in California.
T minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff of Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
Vehicle's pitching downrange. Stage 1 propulsion is normal.
And Falcon 9 has cleared the pad, T plus 30 seconds into flight. Kicking off today's flight, the first event will be Max Q, or the moment of peak mechanical stress on the vehicle. That will occur at T plus 1 minute, 6 seconds. On the bottom right corner of your screen, you can see a live look at which engines are ignited, as well as the G-forces the vehicle is currently experiencing. Currently experiencing 1.9 Gs, but you can see here they throttle back
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
in preparation for Max Q, and then we will see them throttle back up and increase that G-force as we continue to low Earth orbit.
Max Q.
And there is that call for Max Q. We should see that throttle up occur. There we go, up to 2 Gs, as Falcon 9 continues on its journey with 26 Starlink satellites on board. Now at T plus 2 minutes 24 seconds, a sequence of events will begin, beginning with MECO, or first stage main engine cutoff, followed by first stage and second stage separation, then MVAC engine start, or second engine start. We'll then see grid fin deploy, as well as fairing separation about 20 seconds later. At T plus 1 minute, 45 seconds into flight, everything looking nominal. Falcon 9 continuing its journey, now traveling over 4,000 kilometers an hour, passing 32 kilometers in altitude, currently experiencing 3 Gs, basically where we see that kind of peak out is at that 3.5 G mark or so. It's always amazing getting to see that live data coming in from the vehicle on your screen. Standing by for MECO, first stage separation, second engine start, and fairing deployment. Let's listen in.
Main engine cutoff. Stage separation confirmed. MVAC ignition.
And a great look at all those events having occurred, from MECO to second stage ignition to grid fin deploy and fairing deployment. T plus 3 minutes, 20 seconds into flight. The first stage now floating up to its apogee. It's no longer under power. At its apogee, that'll be the highest point it achieves in its flight. Then it begins to fall back down to Earth in preparation for an entry burn and landing burn on the drone ship. Of course, I still love you. We always like to have a little bit of fun, so let's see those apogee guesses in the chat. Apollo says 119, Uncle Utah 117, Chaz 116, Nate 119, UK's or USS Yorktown 120, Pete says 114, Devro 114, Miles High 114. Let's wait and see what that apogee is. It's already passing many of those guesses here today. Second stage continuing to look nominal in its first burn as well, now coming up to 10,000 kilometers an hour in speed and increasing, passing 135 kilometers in altitude. We're keeping an eye on that bottom left corner of your screen. That speed, once it nulls out and begins to increase, that will be apogee of the first stage. And it looks like we have apogee at 119 kilometers here today. Let's see if anyone got that right now that I see it before you guys, so you can't cheat the chat. The Exploring the Back Room said 119, well done. Nate Hotshot said 119 as well. Apollo and Princess also all said 119. Well done. We're going to introduce a little bit more fun with those guesses in the coming weeks. Make sure you stay tuned for that.
Trajectories are nominal.
Coming up to T plus 5 minutes into flight, Falcon 9's first stage now beginning its journey back down to Earth. First, it conducts an entry burn at T plus 6 minutes 7 seconds, just under a minute from now. That burn will last about 25 seconds this morning. And then in preparation for landing, it'll conduct a landing burn at T plus 7 minutes 52 seconds. That burn will last about 25-30 seconds as well, as it touches down on the drone ship. Of course, I still love you. On the right side of your screen, a live look at the second stage, continuing to push these 26 Starlink satellites to orbit. The second stage will cut out at 8 minutes 39 seconds into flight and enter a coast phase once it's in its initial parking orbit. Following that, after the coast phase at T plus 52 minutes 30 seconds, it will reignite for just 2 seconds to finalizing it into its deployment orbit. At T plus 1 hour 1 minute 24 seconds, SpaceX will deploy those 26 Starlink satellites. Now, unfortunately, SpaceX doesn't provide live coverage of Starlink deployment anymore, so you have to stay tuned to social media for confirmation of deployment.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
There's that entry burn on the first stage.
Staged.
Looks like we got a little bit of a dirty camera here today. You can see those 3 engines on Falcon 9 have ignited for the entry burn. During the landing burn, they'll ignite just 1 engine in preparation for landing.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
And entry burn has completed. Falcon 9's first stage is now free falling through the atmosphere, and it'll use just its body and the grid fins to help slow it down in preparation for that landing burn above the drone ship. If it's your first time here, though, welcome. My name's Zach. I'm the founder and host here at the Launchpad Network, and here at TOP, we believe that space is better together, and it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow. If you haven't yet, take a moment, make sure you've engaged that subscribe button and click the like button. Both are free. They really do help us out, and we'd love to see you back here for another live launch coverage, in-space mission tracker, or lunar or Martian landing coverage. There's so much happening in the world of space, and we bring it to you all live right here on the Launchpad Network. Later today, we should have our Starbase 24/7 and ISS 24/7 streams back up. I know you guys have been missing
Stage 1
those and having a live chat place to chat, so
Stage 2
make sure
FTS is
you
staged.
stand by and have that notification bell engaged to know when those 24/7 broadcasts come back online. Hard to believe we're already saying countdown to Flight 10 for Starship, and it's only been a couple of weeks. Stand by for landing burn.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 has entered terminal guidance.
And landing burn is underway. Pete, it looks like stage 1 never left Vandenberg. It's very true. It's hard to tell. There we go. There's the drone ship coming into view.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
They don't paint them like they used to. It's expensive to do it. Over $1 million just to paint the deck of the drone ship.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there we have touchdown of Falcon 9 booster 1088 completing its 7th ascent and descent. The second stage is now continuing on its way to its initial parking orbit. We will stay live until we see that SECO confirmation here in just a second, but after that we will wrap up our live coverage here today of SpaceX Starlink 15-8. As I said, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe so you never miss another live launch coverage. We've got lots of things we're working on bringing and adding to our launch coverage. There's confirmation of SECO 1. With that, we are going to wrap up today's live broadcast and live coverage of SpaceX Starlink 15-8. If you haven't yet, join us over in the TLP Discord. That's where our community hangs out in between streams. We would love to see you there. Head over to the Launchpad store to get some of your TLP launch gear. But for now, from our TLP Canada studio, my name's Zach, and I will see you next time because space is better together. Have a great day, and love you, Papa.